Good morning, everyone. This is my third AGM as CEO. And every year, I always feel we've worked across so many fronts, and it's difficult to know quite how to summarise the key moments. This year, we've got a little video to show you. I feel that in highlighting the big moments at these occasions, we sometimes overlook the essential day-to-day work of the team in delivering our various services, compiling the newsletter, fielding calls from members to help with the ongoing challenges of being in music, such as facilitating relationships with key stakeholders like Merlin and PPL, giving practical advice, guidance, and making introductions that we hope make everything that bit quicker, cheaper, and easier, and so add incremental value to the lives of each and every member. In my first AGM speech, I spoke about inspiration, my process of getting to know members and understanding your needs. In my second AGM speech, I spoke about community and how we started to use what we'd learned from that first year to build on AIM's foundations and start to really deliver. Last year, we announced a raft of ambitious initiatives. We celebrated the first ever edition of AIM House at the Great Escape. We delivered AIM's rebranding. We unveiled our ambition for a new website with an opportunities platform for members and friends of AIM to engage with each other, and I hinted at some exciting news to come about the AIM Awards. Now, here at the end of my third year in the role, I wanted to take stock of what we've achieved, highlight some key wins, and to let you know what we're hoping to do next. There have been some big changes internally at AIM. After 19 years in Chiswick, we successfully disposed of the property there and moved into our new offices next door to the Hospital Club in Covent Garden. The central location has been genuinely transformative for the team, able to host members and attend significantly more meetings. This year we said goodbye to long-standing AIM team member Alex Morley and welcomed in some new joiners who've hit the ground running and have already become highly valued colleagues. So please do say hi today if you haven't already met Guy, Sarah, Sophie, who joined us this year, as well as Simon, who transitioned from an internship to a full-time role. We've delivered the new website, which will now continue to evolve, and expect our first proper CRM to be implemented before the end of the year. It's exciting stuff. In spite of all these changes and uncertainty, we've continued to keep a tight rein on finances and ensure AIM's well-being and stability throughout. Looking back over 2019, it's been an incredible 12 months. It's a true testament to the team that we not only have delivered on the very ambitious plans we set out at the 2018 AGM, but that we've also been able to respond to the key challenges 29 threw at us, starting right from the off with the news that HMV had gone into administration. With the help of distributor members, AIM was able to respond quickly to understand the scale of the problem and its likely impact on our community, to communicate effectively and give advice to members uncertain of the situation. We were able to help galvanise a coherent and united response. When the news broke about Pledge in May, we were ahead of the game, analysing the various stages that member campaigns were likely to be at and the risks associated with each stage in the process. Pledge was different from HMV in that we couldn't rely on the distributors to tell us who was affected or to help coordinate action. Many Pledge relationships were direct, so we had to investigate quickly to try and assess the impact. We consulted members, sent out surveys, and we gathered information via our networks. On the back of our analysis, we were able to give robust advice to members, assist with strategies for dealing with affected stakeholders, and offer guidance on practical steps they needed to take. In addition, we collaborated across the sector, producing joint guidance with partners such as the MU, FAC, and MMF. Member feedback has confirmed that AIM's work with them in that moment of crisis was crucial to them making the best of a truly terrible situation. Some of the ramifications are ongoing. In June this year, we had a big win in Brussels on the final text to the European Copyright Directive. Many people on all sides of the argument fought hard, and with so much at stake, we had everything to play for. Your continued support, the letters you wrote to the MEPs, the calls you made, the debates you joined, made their mark. I've said this before, and I say it again, your voices were heard and they counted. In the final analysis, and against a backdrop of an argument that was so often characterised as big tech versus the major labels. It was the voices of the independent sector, artists and their independent commercial partners who provided a perspective that was instrumental in breaking the deadlock. Thank you for everything you did, and thank you in particular to Helen Smith and the team at Impala in Brussels, and to G. Davey and all the people who worked on this from the UK. And the work continues in collaboration with our tech partners as we enter the implementation phase across all of the EU jurisdictions. We hope for a good outcome. Speaking of the EU, I do of course have to mention Brexit. I'll try and be brief. Much uncertainty, I'm afraid, does still remain, even now, about what the next steps in Brexit have in store. Although no deal scenario looks increasingly possible. We hold out hope for a good outcome, which is always possible, but we must continue to prepare for the worst. We're staying in close contact with government ministers and their departments across Whitehall, in DCMS, BEIS and DIT, as well as collating information we receive via UK Music, the Creative Industries Federation and our other sister organisations. We've been posting regular guidance and advice, which I hope you've all been keeping up to date with, and rest assured that AIM is working hard on a final distilled guide to key business impacts in the event of a no deal, and we'll be signposting members to the latest developments and advice across all aspects of our businesses. Please do watch out for the updates in the newsletters, on our social channels, and of course our website. We'll also be continuing our programme of trade missions and other international opportunities to ensure the best possible chances for you all to do business in key international markets, both in Europe and beyond. These four events, HMV, Pledge, Copyright Directive and Brexit, correlate strongly with today's theme of knowledge. The knowledge, expertise and experience on hand within the AIM team has enabled us to respond efficiently and effectively to each of them, without detracting from the goals we set ourselves this time last year. We launched our first round of regional champions and ambassadors in Edinburgh, Leeds and Belfast. We successfully moved from setup to delivery, supporting local conferences, delivering AIM Academy events and raising AIM's profile in those regions. We're seeing results too, with an increase in new members starting to show, an expectation that more will follow. 2020 will see the appointment of a further 3 regional champions, with 3 more to follow in 2021. Our commitment to our regional programme is not without justification. We can see that some of the most innovative and exciting businesses we meet come from beyond the M25, and we have got to be there to support them. Take, for example, Blackacre from Bristol, who won Best Small Label in 2018, and Scruff of the Neck from Manchester, who won that award this year. We've also continued our work in helping foster AIM Ireland, led by interim chair Harry Martin from Domino. I'm also pleased to report the continued diversity in genres represented by new members. This year alone, we have new members who are releasing music in folk, country, dance, grime, hip-hop, jazz, metal, pop, punk, R&B, soul, reggae, jazz, rock and roll, world, indie rock, blues, Asian, classical, Christian and ambient music. On the subject of membership, we've seen sustained significant growth across the last 3 years, with well over 100 new members per year joining. We're in fact hoping to reach almost 400 new members over the 3 years by the end of this calendar year. The biggest change, however, has been in the number of members that leave. Over the last 3 years, the number of members that leave has fallen by just under 60%. Those two figures combined have seen strong and increasing growth in net membership. Last year, I talked about the rebooted Friends of AIM programme. We successfully implemented the transition, in large part thanks to Callum, our Friend of AIM manager, a post created to make sure we're maximising the opportunity for engagement, knowledge transfer, and of course, business opportunities between our Friends of AIM and rights holder members. The Friends of AIM programme has now successfully become a genuine net contributor to AIM, with friends contributing actively to AIM Academy events and our conferences, as well as, of course, supporting our more ambitious project, like the AIM Awards, for which their support is invaluable. The AIM Awards in 2019 set out to celebrate AIM's 20th anniversary in style, and its success is a huge credit to Guy and Simon in our events team. Guy and Simon worked tirelessly, supported by the whole AIM team, and we saw the event lift significantly as a result. We increased capacity for dinner from 430 tickets to 680, as well as hosting over 500 after-dinner tickets and an industry guest list in addition of some 300 more. Listening to Johnny Marr, AJ Tracy, Georgia and Ms Banks, I was struck by how strong, creative, diverse and exciting our community really is. The nominees and winners this year were a real reminder of everything we stand for, who we represent, and why it is that we do what we do. In particular this year, we were excited to begin our media partnership with BBC Music across 6 Music, Radio 1 and BBC Music Introducing. Collaborating with them enabled us to access a fantastic wealth of advice, knowledge, support and reach that has added huge value to the event. We had over 600 submissions for the awards this year, the most ever. And just get this, 35,000 public votes for the Best Live Act category. 35,000 public votes. We had national press, huge engagement on socials and a lot of encouragement from everyone involved. So we're starting already now to think about what might be possible for 2020. After all, it's AIM's 21st. Our relationship with BBC Music has really grown and developed over the last 2 years. And whilst we still lobby hard for greater playlist inclusion and the promotion of independent British repertoire, both online and on air, we have identified some key areas where we're wholly aligned and where we can actively work together. I'm delighted to announce that we're working with BBC Music on a knowledge partnership through which we're planning to roll out assets and information to support new entrants to the market through BBC Music Introducing, demonstrating AIM's commitment to supporting new and emerging grassroots independence. We will also once again be a key partner at the BBC Music Introducing live event at Tobacco Dock at the end of this month, running a feedback centre as we did last year, so that we can engage directly and give advice to the next generation looking to start in our sector. Please do come down, take part, get involved. In terms of our commitment to knowledge, the last quarter of this year will see the start of a series of expert reports and publications from AIM in key areas. On the 13th of November, we'll be launching Distribution Revolution, created in partnership with CMU Insights, which will provide a benchmark reference for digital music distribution in mapping the 21st century digital supply chain. Watch this space and sign up to receive your advanced copy and attend the launch. We're also working towards the launch of a completely reworked edition of the AIM Survival Guide, accompanied by a light version aimed specifically at people just starting out. It's often said that knowledge is power. We take our commitment to closing the knowledge gap very seriously indeed. This year we delivered our first round of bursaries with the Rattle in Tobacco Dock, and we've agreed to renew that programme for 2020. We've also just awarded our first AIM ICMP scholarship to Cheyenne Headley, who's right now starting her first year as a student in music business and entrepreneurship at the Institute of Contemporary Music Performance in Kilburn in London. The AIM Academy has gone from strength to strength, and this year alone we welcomed some 1,500 attendees across our various seminars, masterclasses and conferences. This year we also initiated a bursary scheme to enable broader attendance as part of our commitment to support smaller members, particularly from outside London who might otherwise not be able to afford to come. For 2020, we're working on a plan which we hope will allow us to formalise the structure of the AIM Academy further, bring on stream a system of accreditation for their continuing professional development with AIM. Many of these initiatives, we hope, form the foundation in our work to support and empower the community further. In terms of the future, we will inevitably have much to deal with. The impact of Brexit, the proposed sale of Universal. There will always be the big issues of the moment to deal with beyond the day-to-day work of AIM. In terms of our strategic priorities, I would say there is one uniting theme that has emerged from all of the work we've done so far, and that is a challenge faced by all entrepreneurs, but particularly those in music: the lack of access to capital. Much of our work has to be around enabling music businesses to start and then to scale up effectively. There's a lot of work to be done to make this happen, but knowledge, education and training have key roles to play. as does our continuing advocacy to government and other crucial stakeholders. We have a team at AIM that is truly excellent. I'd like to thank each and every one of them for their hard work and commitment. We're also very fortunate to be supported by an incredible board, management group and chair, who keep us on track and on budget, and who represent the diverse voices from across the AIM community so well. Thank you for your support and guidance. Finally, I'd like to thank you, our members, who make all of this possible. Your businesses of passion, run by people who care deeply and believe in what you do. AIM too is a team of passion, and we care deeply about all of you. 2020 promises to be an exciting year of further challenges and opportunities. I look forward to meeting both together alongside you and to doing everything we can together to continue to champion independent music from the UK, both at home and abroad. Thank you all for coming today. I look forward to catching up with you all over the course of the morning and of course at lunch over the road afterwards. Thank you.